because humans have a tendency to discount the value of consistent, meticulous follow-up. That's something that human beings aren't built well for. The AI scheduled the appointment before he had a chance to respond. And he asked me if I was going to pay him for the appointment. And I said, no, I've got to pay the AI.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our latest Spyne podcast. My name is Chris Becker, marketing manager here at Spyne. And today's podcast, we're going to focus on what's actually happening inside dealerships as AI becomes a growing part of the daily operations. I'm very happy to be joined today by Russell Blackstone. He's the e-commerce director at Don Hewlett Chevrolet and Volkswagen. He's someone who really sits in the middle of a dealership operations every day, and I'm looking forward to learning his perspective on how AI is starting to change everything from communication, efficiency, and the way teams work within the dealership. So, Russell, thanks for being here. Would you like to share a little bit more about yourself?
Thanks, Chris, for the intro. Good to be here. I've been with the dealership a little over, I think it's been 23, 24 years, something like that. I have a background in automotive marketing, sales management, internet sales, BDC management, and it's been great to work for the Hewlett organization. It's the only dealership I've ever worked for. I picked them based on their reputation and on their integrity, and the people I met who were working here, got to know the owners well. It's been a great career working for them. And we were an early adopter of Spyne for AI.
Before we really dive headfirst into all things AI, let's maybe just take a little step back. Can you paint us a picture of a day in the life of Russell? How are dealership operations on a typical day from where you sit?
Well, I sit in the Business Development Center, which is just off of the showroom floor of our Chevrolet Buick dealership. We're a large store, and we're selling 400 plus cars a month, new and used. And the BDC accepts all the inbound calls and emails and leads from our AI agents and our real agents. We do all the showroom follow-up, and we're also involved in scheduling and unsold showroom traffic, all those things here. I also manage our dealership's reputation and our CRM, our DMS, and I'm involved in vendor selection and vetting and contracting. And I'm involved in different communication systems, the phones, email, texting. So for our store, for sales and service, we have a unified communications platform. We're using Drive-Centric CRM, which has email, text, phone, and video capability. So we are involved with AI every single day because we have AI agents reaching out to our service customers every day, reaching out to our sales customers every day, and responding to inquiries that come in every day by text and email. So we're a daily user of AI, so we're deep into it.
Sounds like you got a pretty full plate there. A lot of stuff falls under you, and all of it seems very tech heavy. And what I was kind of gathering a commonality from all of those things was communications and how big that plays a part in all those different tools and systems that you were just describing. So when you think about something as important as communication for a dealer and the customer, were you noticing there were maybe some gaps or challenges that really only maybe AI could come in and help with and solve those problems? And if so, what were any of those challenges you were experiencing?
Well, I think two of the challenges in communications that AI helps with are 24/7 availability. And it's just very expensive to staff a dealership with humans for that. The other thing that's really hard to have humans do well consistently is relentless follow-up, because humans have a tendency to discount the value of consistent, meticulous follow-up long-term with sales and service leads. So that could be very difficult for a human being to pick up a phone or a keyboard and contact somebody who's ignored you for the last 72 times you've tried to engage them. So that's something that human beings aren't built well for. It's much better to have AI do something like that.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, we've just all been so accustomed to this like gimme, gimme, gimme instant gratification, and we want the answers yesterday, and we don't want to wait for them. And so I know that follow up is really important. So have you noticed incorporating more AI? Like, uh, was it a gradual increase in seeing some improvements, or was it pretty night and day difference?
Very first day we turned on our CRM, one of my BDC agents did not get an appointment because he waited too long to respond to an internet lead.
Wow.
The AI scheduled the appointment before he had a chance to respond. And he asked me if I was going to pay him for the appointment. And I said, no, I've got to pay the AI. So that was the first day we turned on the CRM. So ever since then, it's really kept our team on their toes. I think that we're getting more out of our humans with the AI backing them up.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit more. I mean, a lot of people throw around the idea of AI taking over their job, eliminating their role or their function, and being scared of how much work it's going to take away from them. And what, I'm hearing, and what I think is becoming pretty apparent is that's not the case. I mean, AI is there for me. It complements my efficiency and productivity, and makes me a lot more, um, productive, really. So with that BDC person in particular, I mean, did it just kind of light a fire under him to do better, or was he kind of maybe scared of the potential of AI, and what it could mean for him?
He was furious, and then he was more furious at me for not paying him the appointment. But um, it kept him on his toes. And what AI does for it, he speaks and types in redneck. So it helps because he can use AI to make his email better. He can have three different styles of email. He can email somebody in Spanish, even though he doesn't speak Spanish. So he's able to receive a message in Spanish and speak back in Spanish using AI. We have adopted a practice of our long-term follow-up being delegated to AI instead of having humans do our long-term follow-up. So he's actually making more money because he can concentrate his effort on customers that are actually engaged with us instead of having to completely do all this relentless follow-up that doesn't have a lot of payback. So he can just talk to the people who are most interested in talking to us and leave the long-term follow-up to AI. So that's actually made him a lot more effective.
Yeah, I appreciate, in my role, being able to offload some of that mundane, monotonous stuff that I could do without, and really just is a, time consuming kind of task. What are some other benefits that your team has noticed? I mean, I imagine fewer forgotten leads. They have probably more productive, higher value conversations whenever they do have the customer come into the showroom to look at the vehicles. So, what other benefits have they been experiencing?
Well, the AI reminds us of who we need to follow up with. So if we forget to follow up with somebody, it will remind us, and it will also contact the customer if we don't respond to the reminder. So if it remembers that the customer want us to follow up on Thursday about the unit that was coming into stock, if we don't respond, it'll respond and let the customer know what's going on. So that's been helpful. We also have AI contacting every single service guest that opens a repair order, asking them if they'd like an appraisal on their existing vehicle.
Wow. I
And
mean,
that's something that salespeople don't like to do. They're not good at. They don't like to work the service drive. So we've got AI agents working our service drive for us, and it's been extremely effective. So that's been very good for us.
yeah, sounds like it.
And the salespeople are not always available on their phone when the customer does respond regarding a repair order because it's usually at 7:15 in the morning. So our AI is responding to those inquiries and providing the customer value on their car, and then following up and asking for an appointment afterwards.
That's the luxury.
It's been extraordinarily effective.
Yeah,
Something we've never done without AI.
technology that runs 24/7.
Yep.
Let's go back to, as you're incorporating these tools into the dealership, and how did the conversation first start when, I mean, AI has been around a few years now, really the biggest impact of it was a few years ago, and it's been growing. What was there hesitation from the dealership, from leadership? I mean, reluctance. I know trust is a big thing, like ensuring that it's going to do what it's supposed to do. How did those conversations start, and were they pretty easy to get buy-in?
Well, we have a really strong uh, leader. Our general manager for both stores, John Chauvin, is a man of who's made many, many good decisions, and he's open to new technology. He's not the first one to try something new if it's working well, and he has really stepped up and provided a lot of leadership for us to adopt these new technologies in store. So the owners have also been uh, very open to trying the new technology, but we are really big on testing. So when we bring on an AI vendor, we do a lot of vetting, we do a lot of testing. We look at all the stores where their products are installed. We mystery shop like crazy. We make dozens of phone calls to their AI and we test it. We send in mystery shops. We do a lot to make sure that we're getting a quality vendor from the get-go. So um, because of our strong vetting, because of John's strong leadership here, and because the ownership's willingness to march into the future confidently, we've had a lot of buy-in from our team. I think that car dealerships and car dealership management overall, if you look at the technology stack that's customer facing, compared to most industries, we're way behind. So AI has really helped us step up and keep pace with technology and keep pace with customers' expectations. If you send a customer a text asking them for a value on their car, and you wait an hour and a half until your used car director gets back to prepare an estimate, the customer's already, their interest has already gone off
Yep.
to another store, or they've lost interest. You've got to be able to respond immediately, instantly. That's what the customer's expecting. So AI technology allows us to do that. Is it perfect? No. Does it make mistakes? Yes. Does it skate your salespeople? It can. Our AI is cunning. It is relentless, and it is smart. It makes bad decisions sometimes, but that's part of the learning. That's part of what happens. And our customers most often don't know that they're speaking with AI.
It's
And we've even
impressive.
had customers get kind of attached to our agents. So it's been interesting to sort of follow this through and see what this is like when it gets out into the wild.